It's 3 a.m. and the phone rings. It's Dad. Mom isn't right. And the adrenaline pulls me out of bed and into the car on a cold winter's night. The drive over is short and my mind is racing. This has been the story of my entire life, caring for my mother, living with obesity and bipolar disorder. But tonight she's gone into diabetic shock. I arrive to find her naked, disoriented, and in pain. I call 911 and we wait, only to have the paramedics arrive and say, "You are too heavy for us to lift. We have to call the fire department." And I watched as that shame landed on my mother. 2 years later, obesity would take my mother's life at the age of 69. I could not save her. Travel back with me to a warm summer afternoon. It's 1981. I'm sitting with my Raggedy Ann doll on a velour couch watching General Hospital, a show far too sophisticated for this 8-year-old, when my mother calls me into the kitchen and she grabs my arms and she presses play on her favorite tape of self-loathing. "Sandra, what have I done with my life? You need to help me. Can't you see? I'm sick. And I need you to help me." And I breathed in that responsibility. I mean, how lucky am I, y'all? People spend a lifetime looking for their purpose. Some climb Kilimanjaro and ask the heavens. Others spend 7 years in Tibet. Some eat, pray, and love across the globe. Not me. At the tender age of 8, my life purpose was handed to me on a platter. So I put Raggedy Ann doll down. I fixed my ponytail, and I went to work. My life purpose was clear. I was going to save my mom. And if I could fix her, she could love me back, and I would matter. And as the years went on, the weight of my responsibilities grew. The 5 a.m. alarms that would go off so I could get to Mom's before work, make sure she takes her meds, check under her tongue. Every Friday night, pulling into her driveway, bags packed because I needed to babysit her for the weekend. She didn't want to be alone. Well, 5 blocks away, my husband sat in our home alone, weeks at a time at her bedside in psychiatric wards, trying to find that perfect cocktail of mood stabilizers and antidepressants. I was committed to my life purpose. I was going to save her. Then one day, I boarded a plane to Arizona. I'm 29 years old. I am 100 pounds overweight. I am miserable. I am depressed. My marriage is crumbling, and the damn seatbelt will not fit. And I am not asking for a seatbelt extender. So I hide the seatbelt under my belly flap, and the flight attendant doesn't notice, and the shame washes over me. And shortly after takeoff, we hit turbulence, the kind that ensues terror, and the attendants are scrambling to their seats, and all I can do is hang on to the armrests, and I'm hanging on, and I'm hanging on, and it's exhausting. My life is exhausting. I can't hang on anymore. At 40,000 feet in the air, I can see clearly. My mother was self-destructing. She was going down, and I was going down with her. She gave that 8-year-old an impossible task. I couldn't save her, and I spent years believing it was my fault. The plane touched down safely, and everything had shifted. So began my journey back to myself, paved with self-love and self-acceptance, all 260 pounds of me at the time. I stopped using food as a drug, and I ended my family legacy and reclaimed my purpose. So that when I stood in her kitchen once again, a few mere months before she died, I saw my mom. I really saw her. Mental illness and obesity robbed me of a mother. Her life was tragic, and it was filled with sorrow. And I accepted her exactly as she was. And I accepted that I would not know the comfort of a mother, and I would not find solace in her embrace. All I ever wanted from her was to be well, heal her relationship with food, and find fulfillment. These are the gifts I give my daughter. So I ask you, have you ever tried to save someone? Have you ever tried to make someone happy? Have you ever tried to live for someone else? It doesn't work. and it's heartbreaking. The greatest gift we can give is to step into our own power, claim our own gifts, live our own life purpose. And this is what I'm trying to teach my daughter. Will you travel with me again once more to a warm summer afternoon? I can see my 8-year-old running ahead of me on the boardwalk, and she is flying a kite, and it's dancing in the blue sky. And I call her over, and I wrap Sophia in my arms, and I whisper, I love you. I want you to have your own life. You're free. You're free. Thank you.